4th May, 1942. In the past, the patient had expressed suicidal intentions, never carrying out her intentions. Yesterday, she injured herself badly, stabbing herself in the stomach with sharp, pointed scissors. Sedated, restrained, and transferred to a restraining cell. 10th May. Transferred to the agitated ward for observation, isolation, insulin shock therapy. 25th September. Positive response to treatment. She replies to questions and remembers what happened, but doesn't want to give explanations. She claims to have memory lapses, entire days about which she remembers nothing. She appears to be anxious and seeks reassurance. She fears to have done monstrous things in the periods about which she has no memory. November 11th, 1942. The patient speaks very little, refuses food. Force-fed with nasal cannula. 2nd February, 1943. The lack of kerosene for heating and the shortage of sufficient food is causing a lot of victims in the institution. War spares nobody, not even these alienated creatures. Despite her young age, this patient has become ill because of the cold and malnutrition.
Once more, I feel like I'm on the edge of an abyss. What a horrible feeling. My paranoia is knocking urgently at the gates. Everything is booming, and in the end, I know they will enter and destroy me in a few moments. For a short while, I shall no longer be here, but in my personal hell, devoured by fear which will be directed violently towards the exterior. When you're not well, I mean in your head. When you're crazy. To cut a long story short, what am I? Well, that's that. I can no longer speak or move. I find it hard to swallow. I can't eat. Then it passes. I feel better like now, perhaps. Then I feel increasingly anxious. I can't sleep. I can't stop thoughts that come to me, one on top of the other, and I suffer from memory lapses. Yes, there are periods I don't remember anything about. I don't even know what it means. It began happening with my fiancé, and Bruno was there. They said I did certain things, you know. I'm too embarrassed to talk about them. But I think that's the reason I'm here, isn't it? But now I no longer do any of those things, right? Please send me home. I'm sure I'm okay, and I still want to go home. But nobody comes to visit me. Why? Do you know?
August 1942. We hereby communicate the death of Ada T., mother of Renee T., a patient in your institution. No known relative. Sincerely yours, Onofrio P. I've nobody left in the world. Nobody at all. Solitude is very strange. It muffles everything, slows it down. It's an endless scream which doesn't emit any sound. A silent shout. I can't stop looking at myself. I will never leave this place. There's nobody for me out there. These walls have become my skin, and the wretched desperation within them is my soul without a voice. Here, nobody weeps anymore. How I would love to feel life, desperation, anger. I've stopped dreaming, daydreaming, maybe even thinking. I've lived in a reality which has corroded me, depriving me of everything, even of my capacity to feel pain. May 5th, 1943. Renee's in a good state of health. She eats and speaks, is orientated in space and time. Therapy suspended. 3rd December. She asks, reasonably, if she can leave the hospital. Evaluate patient for 6 months. 2nd May 1944. Discharge denied, despite favorable psychiatric opinion. Patient has no home or means of support. 4th May. The reasons why discharge is impossible are explained, and in this manner Renee learns of her mother's death 2 years after the fact. 5th May. During the night she tried to kill herself by hanging herself with a sheet, saved by the nurses. Restrained to her bed, she once more tries to kill herself by suffocation. It is decided to perform a transorbital lobotomy.
Tenth of June, 1944. Operation successful. Patient tranquil and collaborative. Motor coordination capacity reduced, but she's improving. Transferred to the tranquil department in the care of Dr. B. 25th of October. Continues to talk about Amara and her doll, Charlotte. The disturbances of motor capacity show slight signs of improvement. Difficulty walking, not capable of riding, and the nurses report that they have to help her dress, wash, and feed herself. In the summer of 1944, Renee was transferred back into my department. Aware of little, indifferent, hardly ever spoke. One day, she said, "When I find the courage to look at myself in the mirror, I see a young face which is aged and looks at me full of fear." She is a woman now who has changed profoundly compared to the girl that I had under my care several years ago. Only the sadness of her gaze and her intelligence are unchanged. She's so young, just 23 years old, but is lacking all vitality. Perhaps her condition may improve, but probably not. Her life has been thrown away, and nobody did a thing to try to avoid this.
This is